Welcome, everybody. This is Pestnews 101. I'm with my co-host J2Fox.
You can say it. I don't care.
Okay.
We're not monetized, dude.
And we have guest speaker King Kurbis.
Yeah, hey guys, J2Fricks Pestnews.
J2Fricks, yes. Um, so yeah, this is episode 2 of the podcast. It seemed like a lot of people liked the first one. Hopefully, this one's a little cleaner with some editing, and hopefully, my sound is fixed. I was told I was a little quiet last week, so
Yo, did you test that?
I didn't. But we're gonna just go with it, dude.
Sweet.
Yep. Anyways, that's staying in too. So yeah, I guess we'll just jump right in with the weekend review. If you want to start with Jotunheim Pest, since that's your division.
Yeah, just hold on a second. Pulling up the whole scores. I had them up on my phone, and my phone kind of just ran out of energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as things do. All right, right here. Royals 2-0 Alien Tuna, which we all kind of guessed. I haven't heard much about Alien Tuna. I heard they've had troubles getting together and all that stuff, so maybe they're not as practiced, and we all know how much Royals like to practice.
Makes sense. Yep.
Housewives 2-0 Helix Fallen, and I have brackets in this for
Oh yes. Actually, let
for
me
the
touch on this.
okay.
This is important. I gotta give a huge shout out to my boy Tyne for running the Blobkiss Jungle. Game 2 did amazing. That's about it, but it was great. I'd love to see it. You gotta respect when people throw that in there. Also, double A on the cast. Giving me credit for the Blobkiss Jungle at the start. So it's amazing. Throw that clip in there too.
Watching my boy Nexel, that was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, he's getting
Yeah,
better, man. He's getting better.
he's getting so much better. Like I'm so excited to go up against him again because it just feels like it's going to be a boxing match and it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And then next is this is the big game of the week because it was the first seed versus the third seed. Midgard Serpents 2-1 Vangard. Um, what to talk about in this game? All right, so game one, the solo lane kind of got dumpstered pretty hard
God damn.
for Vangard. Yeah. Talked a little bit.
Self-report.
Yeah, he's not lying. I was watching. He's not lying.
We talked on it a little bit. I even talked to Awen about it, and he's just like, after the game, he's like, "You're missing a lot of those alts that you usually don't miss those abilities." And I was like, "Yeah, I was like heavy lagging because I got diagnosed, not diagnosed, I guess. I just tested positive for COVID that day, and it hit me around middle of the afternoon. So I just moved all my shit upstairs, and I realized I'm not hardwired in anymore. My internet sucks at that distance. So I was lagging around.
Mm.
I think he dumpsters me either way. It's just I got good. I couldn't
All
do
right.
anything outside of that. And then so that kind of just trickled down. He played Cleodana, I played Bologna, and his Cleo just absolutely ran the show, was annoying our backliners. I outside of that Cleo, I don't remember much about game one because she was just in our face the entire time. So no disrespect to any of the other guys. It was just that Cleo was just such an impact. Game two, we just kind of we ran it the entire time. I was here against a RDO,
Yes.
and yeah, I don't. He kind of counterpicked me, but I don't know how strong RDO is feeling right now because RDO was kind of a counterpick to tier, and I didn't feel any pressure or anything. And then we just kind of ran the objectives, ran everything, got the game. I think it was like a 23, 24 minute game, if I remember correctly. It was a pretty quick game. And then game three.
So actually, real quick, tell the story
Oh,
about what happened with Game 3, because I know there was a little bit of trouble with it. It didn't happen on the same day as the rest of the set.
okay, so what happened with that was I forget, I think it was either Cutlip or their jungler. I'm forgetting his name for some reason.
Captain Cap.
Captain Cap. Um, couldn't make the game three because they had scheduling error. So we had to reschedule it. We didn't want to take the forfeit because if we won like that, it wouldn't have felt like a real win. And we ended up going to Friday. And yeah, they won it. It was a closer game than either games one or two. I still felt pretty good in that game, but they just had Cutlip had a monstrous game on Kyron. Their dual lane was exerting enough pressure just to.
That Zapsy is their
Yeah,
ADC
he
there, right?
Yeah.
was not able to play the entire set though.
Ah,
Yeah, they had a
Sub
sub.
in for it.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
that was also a reason, very strong reason we won game two, was because our carry was able to just pop off.
Zalaxis. Yeah.
That like popped off, and even game three he was doing
And
pretty
that was
good.
his first game with you guys, right? Because you just picked him up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'd only scrimmed with him once before that as well, and then we just played casuals with him. So
That's pretty good because I'd say, you know, between I Love Cats and Zapsy, they're probably the two best ADCs in the league. So keeping a good strong matches against them, that's really well done.
Yeah.
yeah, so he was very impressive. Game two he played Izanami and just
I
tanked
think
heaven.
J2, do you know if Midgard? I heard that there's brothers on that team. Do you know for sure anybody
On Midgard
on?
Serpents?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Awen and I think it's Captain Cab is his brother.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I thought I heard something about there being brothers on that team, so that helps with the synergy too.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
and then they invited me into VC after the game just to say GGs and all that, and they have a pretty good environment there. So
Awesome.
you know it feels bad losing, but at least
Yeah.
they were good about it after and talked and all that.
Well,
Um,
what's cool to see about it though is that that's twice now where when they played Royals and when you guys played Royals and then when you guys played each other, Midgard and Vangard just past week, all those sets were 2-1. None of them were 2-0. So it shows that like those top three teams in Jotunheim, I mean,
They're
they're
top three teams for a reason,
well,
and they're
yeah, and
close.
they're pretty close. So like once it comes playoff time, like it could
well,
get interesting. Like I wouldn't put it past any of them to win that division at this point. So
I I honestly think in that game three, if we pick something that matches a little bit better, and we didn't know this at the time, it just that Kyron mid by Cutlip was oppressive. Did
damn,
so much damage and was just running us down.
damn,
And I think if we got the right pick or just something differently happened, we were holding our own in both duel and solo and jungle. But
damn.
and I don't even think it was Necro getting outplayed. I just think
He was just that good.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
that's the way it happened. And props to them. They played insanely well game one and three, and yeah, there's a reason I personally put Awen top echelon of the solo laners along with Baza and Nexale. Um,
Makes sense.
those I think are the clear top four right now. So
Oh, including yourself, obviously.
yeah, I have to include myself. I think Awen proved that he's a little bit
Yeah.
better than me this set. So
All right.
yeah.
So I think we'll move on to Midgard now. So there was a planned scrim between two teams this week. I believe it was Lambe's Girls and Band of Brothers.
Did you step away from your mic, Ben?
My bad. This is a little took a drink of water. Took a drink of water. So anyways, so there's a planned scrim between Band of Brothers and Lambe's Girls this week, so they did not play. A league set, at least, nothing to go on the record books. Then my team, Volnus Mortale, got an FF win, I guess you could call it, against Silver Hillbilly Gankers, who are dropping out of the league from choice, and all matchups against them. Are they going as a win, or are they going as a wash?
They're gonna go as a win. Just give everybody a boost. I
Okay,
think.
so everyone gets a 2-0 victory against them, including Kurbis' team, who actually lost 0-2 to them, but
Thank goodness, yeah. Undefeated on the records.
undefeated. Yeah, all right.
Let the records show.
All right. And then I believe after that, it was just Elysian had a bye week, and Firelink, Kurbis' team, did 2-0 Lords of Ulster. It was closer than a 2-0 though, with that game too. Kurbis, any thoughts?
It should have been a 3-game set. I don't think anybody watching that or playing that disagrees that it should have been a 3-game set.
And this is the main reason he's on here. That game 2 was insane. But I remember watching it with J2's teammate, and both of us going, "No way they come back from this," and then they ended up winning it.
Yeah, I mean, just is there anyone that kind of stood out to you that set, Kurbis, or any thoughts from the whole thing?
No, their team played really solid. Going into game 1, I mean, our mid was sick, just like you. So he was out, so we had a sub in.
Okay.
So Davi was playing. It's his first game, like, competitively wise. Okay. He's also the brother to Kiki, so we had the brothers. And in game 1, we had them playing sister characters, so it was Scylla and Char.
Okay.
Cool, the brothers on sisters. So they played really good in that game. Brennan had a really good Scylla, hit some good crushes, some good alts. I got beat in lane, but managed to put enough presence on the board around it to end up even and kind of use that execute to counter out that Kepri a bit they had. So game 1 was pretty solid. It was not a guaranteed win, but it definitely felt a little bit more in our favor.
How long did that game go for game 1?
I think it was like 30, 35.
Oh,
It wasn't a short one. Like, it was a normal game for us.
Yeah.
We played pretty good, and so did they. I think it was just ultimately we got maybe a couple extra team fights where we needed them, but it wasn't anyone's for sure outing or fault. Our dual lane had a really good strong presence in that game.
Okay.
Going into game 2, we figured we'll pick up the Izanami. We'll try some new characters that we've been playing around with. Me personally, I really want to play Baron. Baron has a great Pumpkin King skin, and for those that don't know, Kurbis means pumpkin in German, so I had to play my namesake.
Okay.
So bust out the King Pumpkin Baron.
You're practicing for that new skin that's coming out this week. Is what you're doing.
You know it. So I really like Baron, and I want to play him in the solo, and I've been playing around with him. Thought he'd be viable. Really thought it'd be a good time to try it out, just kind of with the comp we had going. Mm-hmm. But really, we weren't on anything we were comfortable with, and it showed because, right away we saw the Janus mid, and first thought that came out of my mouth was, it's Janus, we're good. He's irrelevant. He'll be good for rotating, but that's it.
Okay.
Well, that Janus in that first 10 minutes probably hit some cross-border snipes and took out our duo lane maybe 2 or 3 times within that first 10 minutes. So I was eating my words really quickly. Your wife's new boyfriend played it really well, and definitely made me go, okay, yeah, Janus is still viable. He shut me up real quick.
That's good. That's good.
So they played really good. Like, just they Cleo jungle. Cleo's really strong. Probably not the strongest in the jungle, but still got punished for it. It's just a hard character. They ganked me quite a bit in solo to punish the Baron, which is fine. I'm okay with it because I'm trying to be a bait. It's a big thing Barons do well, but we were definitely like 10, 15 minutes in. I think like down 20 kills maybe at one point. Yeah. It was like 24-4. Yeah. And mentally, we were already going through picks and bans as a team. Right. We're going, okay, our White Ombre, who's our jungle, who's typically been like one of our standout players, was like 0-7.
I think he's like the second highest rated jungler or something, right?
He's fantastic. He played Odin game 1 too, which is like, he was like, dude, I really want to play Odin. I'm good on Odin. I've been playing around with it. I'm like, cool, you want to do Odin jungle? Let's do it. So game 2, he's like, oh, I've been kind of playing around with the Susano, so I'm like, try it. Let's go. Sus is really good. He went 0-7 on it. Didn't feel great for him. It didn't feel good for us. So that really puts us at a deficit. As well as Kiki on Izanami wasn't that comfortable. And obviously, I think is it Indigo is the carry on Lords of Ulster?
And I think he has the highest player rating too in the league the Midgard division. So.
Indigo pulled out the Chartabus that we played in game 1, and he's like a 1-star diamond with it. So he definitely punished into Kiki really well. The Janus rotates. Like I said, they played really good collectively in that laning phase. They got first Fire Giant. They did pretty good with that first Fire Giant. They got second Fire Giant, and I think it's around the second Fire Giant that they kind of I don't know if they just lost their like where they wanted to go or what they were gonna do because they didn't do as much with it. Third fire we managed to steal, and by that point we're at 35 minutes, and the gold deficit and the kill deficit is a lot smaller. We're all at level 20. We're almost full build. And like we were talking before we jumped on the podcast, you only hit level 20 once. So ultimately, they just allowed us to come back into that game, which then made it an even fight. And we won some team fights that, we team fight really well. We were just really far behind. And once they allowed us to catch back up, we were able to prove that our team fight was strong. And 45 minutes later, we ended up pulling that game out. We really shouldn't have. They definitely dominated that entire first 25 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Sometimes that just happens, though. I mean,
stemmed the bleeding long enough to allow us to come back into play. I talked a little bit to Flamio, who played amazing both games. His Geb was really good. We specifically target banned his Fenrir because we know he's really good on it. So we were definitely target banning and respect banning a lot of their players because we knew they're a good team. They're up there for a reason. So definitely should have gone to game 3. But we're happy it didn't because
who knows how that one would have went. I mean,
exactly. if it was anything like game 2, we wouldn't have been in good spirits.
Yeah.
So it's a hard game to lose for them. A really good game for us to win. I don't think like I'm not a very loud person, but I was pumped up and yelling after that game when we came back and won it.
I bet.
So. And Dovi's first showing, he gets to have one of those amazing comebacks, so he's really pumped up as well.
Is he like a listed sub for you guys? I haven't looked at your okay, yeah, so that's cool. It's always good.
Yeah, we picked him up early. He plays really far up. He's really far up north most of the time, but he's actually back in town. He's in the same town I'm from. So actually, in game 1, we both DC'd at the same time because our internet cut out.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
But yeah, so it's good. He's definitely, like you said, a brother, and we play with him casually quite a bit. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, that's always good then. We can have a sub step in and not lose. I mean, that's always the goal. So
Lords of Ulster played really well. Ultimately, I think we just won some key, impactful team fights that allowed us to get that game, but definitely shouldn't have been a 2-0.
Yeah.
Do you think having both the double ADC style comp, because Saul is an ADC style mid laner, do you think that helped the late game a lot?
I definitely think it helped the late game. A lot of what ended up, I think, winning us some of those fights were the ability to peel the backline. Like Sun Wukong's an incredibly hard god to peel because he's got the CC immunity alt. But as Baron, if I can get it when he's not in that alt and give Saul the room, which happened in the last couple team fights, is really the only reason we won. So it was just, I guess, an alt timing and a beads timing thing that really came into our favor.
Yeah.
Also, Saul really has a lot of ability to get out of it herself, so that would help too.
Yeah, she buys herself quite a lot of peel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we can move on now to the Bifrost tournament results. Starting out, Profits 2-0'd Gumbo's team. It was Profits' first game in the league since joining against a Asgard team. So interesting to see them get the 2-0 there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Helix Prime 2-1 Destiny. I know they're both Vanaheim teams.
Just hold on 1 second. Weren't Profits the one that you're saying that are gonna go all the way?
Oh yeah, they're gonna win the whole league. But I mean, I said that last week. So
little self-biased.
Yeah, I just
hey,
listen,
just a bit.
Listen,
feel good about yourself.
Hey,
My coaches have to win because they're not.
They are gonna win. They don't have to win, but they're gonna win. I mean, that's not good. They're going to. I got confidence in them. They're great dudes. So.
Does this mean I have to cheer for double jungle then?
All right. I mean, go ahead, but.
Yeah.
So yeah, Helix Prime 2-1 Destiny. Both Vanaheim teams. I think they're both sitting kind of towards the bottom of that standings over there. So interesting to see like how that'll play out in the future with them. Probably a pretty close match with it being 2-1. And then the rest. Oh, go ahead.
The way that tournament is working is it breaks up the game. So if you win a game, you go into a winner's bracket. You lose a game, you go into a loser bracket, and it just keeps splitting further and further. Okay. So now, basically, the teams that are winning are going to be versing the other teams that are winning.
Right.
Until
and then
it sorts them out.
After that, it places them into like, okay, U4 Asgard and U5 or Vanaheim, and then they have like their playoff for like the actual champions of those divisions, right?
Yeah, simplicity's sake, basically, you win 3 games, you're going to Asgard. If you lose 3 games, you're going to Vanaheim.
Okay, and
It's the
everyone.
easiest way to
Okay,
simplify what's going to happen
makes sense.
without like going into complicated how the formulas are working. But that's the easiest way.
Right.
If you have somebody that wins 3-0, they're getting bumped to Asgard right away. They don't have to continue playing through the rest of the weeks.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
Interesting. And then the other ones are just double jungle 2-0 Helix Paladins, which I think everyone's kind of expecting.
Sorry, Paladins.
Double jungle's been like the top team for like this whole season.
They are the top
correct?
team, definitely.
Yeah. And then tactically inting 2-0 VTubers, both Vanaheim teams, but tactically inting has been dominating in Vanaheim, so that's Ying's team with Rikuri and all them. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they get bumped into Asgard, but we'll see.
And we could talk about that too. Who do you think, Kurbis, since you probably know all those teams the best, being an admin and kind of seeing all that, who do you think are like the 4 teams that'll be placed into Asgard? 4-ish.
Well, I definitely think Profits, Double Jungle. Like, I honestly think the Asgard teams will probably all stay up. The only one I'm might not is Cryo's team, which Cryo is, I think, the Paladins player. Mostly because he's the only, like, he's a Masters player on that team, and the rest are like Plat, Diamond-ish.
Okay.
So there's a pretty big jump in level.
Yeah.
So he might drop down, but I'm expecting the other teams like Profits, Double Jungle, Gumbos. I'm expecting most of those to stay up. The real thing is going to be for that last slot, whether Paladins maintain it or Tactical Inting's able to squish their way into there.
Okay, makes sense.
So we might have a flip and actually end up with two newish teams in that division. So it could be interesting at the end.
All right.
Would be interesting for sure.
Yeah. All right. So I think now we can move into we'll talk about the patch notes a little bit. They're coming out Tuesday. Are you guys able to pull up?
I'm excited for some meta changes.
Meta changes, yeah. You guys able to pull
Solo's
up the
gonna
patch
have big
notes
meta changes.
a little bit?
Yeah, I got them.
All right, cool. Let me know when you guys are all ready. Scroll through. I could even actually hold up.
Bring them up.
Hey,
Oh,
look at that! Now we're all on the same page. Yes, sir.
you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Pestnews, you ready?
Yep.
All right. I guess we can talk about the skins a little bit. Any of these skins jumping out, you guys? I mean, this skin's just hilarious to me. But
It gives me Cthulhu vibes, you know, from the.
yeah, it's a play off that. It's like the same theme.
Same theme. I dig these new mini bots.
For the battle pass.
The pass. Like, I'm a huge fan of how well the battle passes have been. The battle pass skins have been amazing.
Yeah.
For like since High Res became Titan Forge for this game, the battle passes have been incredibly well done.
Yeah, I like the chibi skins in general too. So it's kind of cool to see like the little robot type chibi ones.
Yeah, the chibi skins. If I have them, like. They're some of my favorite skins in Smite, which is kind of.
Yeah.
I don't play any of the gods, but it's still dope. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Some of these are cool. Rambo. I know some people were excited about this Ool skin.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's it's definitely the correct character to put it on.
Oh,
so
of course,
that's
yeah.
Dope. I can't wait to just int on Uller because I'm a trash Uller player.
Anything else here? Not really. Like, I mean, these are all pretty cool. I thought the skin lineup was pretty good, but
so the Crimson Blood here, which is both kind of like this Anubis and Fenrir. This is my favorite skin theme. King Arthur and the Morrigan have it.
yes.
And like as like a blood paladin, that's like the coolest skin line for me.
Yeah, I'll
I'm a
definitely
big fan of that.
getting the Fenrir one because I love playing Fenrir so much.
Oh, dude, what is that?
What, the Scotty skin?
That black skin. That's like low key. Like it's subtle, but I love that.
Oh yeah, the
didn't see that
husky
one.
skin. Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
That's cool.
I don't like
Well,
Scotty, so but
Yeah.
But
Either do I, but I agree.
yeah. All right.
does
Pretty good
anyone
lineup.
actually like Scotty though?
Some people do, and those people are.
I think Zax is a big fan of it.
this
from the
stuff. I don't think there's really anything here. Oh, this is cool. This is
Yeah,
a cool
this
little
is
thing.
cool.
Usually,
But
like I kind of skip this part, but this is a cool little thing. The custom matches.
Yeah, it'll be making it a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially for league play. It'll
Right.
be
You
huge.
can set presets and not have to. Yeah, it'll be nice.
Not have to worry about making mistakes for putting stuff in, so that's
Right.
dope. And it'll default to one, which is huge because my biggest pet peeve is when
Oh, okay.
you would like get kicked out and not have a default.
Yeah. Let's see. Smite birthday event. I mean, okay.
Gem sale,
Yeah.
about the only important thing.
Pretty much. 2 times worshippers. Help me get Black as Diamond.
They're fixing the invisible like thing, right, in this one?
Do they have hot notes on it?
All the way at the bottom they do from PTS, but I don't know.
They haven't noted it anywhere yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
so
sure
all
it'll
those
be.
gods are still banned, correct?
No, so in the last update, we actually I went through and I play tested with all the gods that we had noted for just what the community was saying, and I tested them myself. So after the test, it definitely determined that it was just Seer of the Jungle outside of Chartibus. So Seer of the Jungle's banned and Chartibus is banned. Everything else is back in play.
Okay, cool. Makes sense. And obviously
Felt
Show-
bad to punish a lot of those gods being meta, so I really wanted to be sure. So that night, I actually went
I
and
want to
play
see if some
tested.
people reach into their bag of tricks because they can play Izanami ADC every game. So look for it.
Too bad.
All right, let's see. Conquest game modes. Let's see. Tier 1, Tier 2 towers. Increased base damage. I didn't even notice that the first time I looked through.
10% more, and that's
Dang,
part
no
of
more
the
diving
reason that the
towers
bug.
for me.
It's part of the reason that I think the bug's happening right now.
Okay.
yeah.
Let's see. So glyphs. Oh yeah, you can only buy 1 glyph total now. So
It's not really going to affect most players,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
definitely
think-
think it's
I
still
don't
good.
think there's a lot
Yeah.
of builds other than like duel where you would get multiple.
I'm trying to think.
Some supports might have been getting
Yeah.
Heartward and Breastplate, but it's
Yeah.
not that common.
And then I also know some Wukons.
Mm,
They'll get the breastplate and Jotun's vigor.
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, but outside of that, I don't think it affects solo lane pretty much at all.
Let's see. Anything here important that we want to touch on? Increased duration.
No, it's just
Yeah.
some standard buffs to some items.
Yeah.
Berserker's the
This
big
is
change.
This is the big
I
one, yeah.
don't like, I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
It's just, it really kind of, I miss the 10% pen, I'll miss that, and then it just feels less beneficial to get on a lot of.
You're not going to be building Berserkers. You're just not. If you are, you're not building right.
the solo
But-
laner.
But
It's
flat out, like, I'm okay with this change. Personally, I love AA gods like Osiris, Bellona. I love when those gods are playable.
just-
But the meta becomes extremely toxic when Berserker Shield's good.
Yeah.
So I love the gods that it brings in, but the environment it brings is just not fun for most of the other lanes. So I am definitely happy it's getting nerfed, even though I miss some of the gods.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
it's just, I think it was in a decent spot before the change, because
It was, but the gods it brought forward were not.
Yeah. I think, well, I don't think this is really. It's a nerf, but they're trying to not make it just terrible. That's why they're changing some of the stats. They just wanted to make it so, like, you don't see the Circuit supports and, like, these tanky junglers. They want to promote, like, building basically full
Gilgamesh.
blast cannon or being tanky, like, committing to one, you know? Not these supports that are pumping out 20k damage a game, but also you can't kill them at the same time. So I like it. I'm tired of Berserker Shield in the jungle, so I'm fine with it.
fair enough.
Yeah, but I could see maybe solo laners getting it. I don't know. They did change this. It's not read up here, but this is wrong.
Oh,
You can only
yeah.
build it on you can't build it on hunters anymore. I know some people
Oh,
are talking about that.
Cut off? Okay.
Yeah.
At the bottom it goes we wanted to remove any specific one up. There's a like Ajax actually has like a full Reddit blog on it,
Yeah.
but he just says that they just want to restrict items, but clearly it's not good on hunters, so they are going to still restrict it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anything here? Decreasing costs.
Well, Blackthorn buff, Glad Shield buff, those are all going to be solo lane buffs, so you'll see gods that use that well.
50 health too is a decent amount. So
I
And
just
5
want
power.
I just don't like the Blackthorn because we had so long in Season 8 of just Blackthorn being the meta.
Yeah. It won't be there, but at least it's a spice pick if you need it.
I like this change. Because I like this item, this glyph.
But
But
it just-
60 seconds is ridiculously long
I'll agree with that.
to have.
I think so
to
as
have
well.
the cooldown for it. So I like the 30-second cooldown. I think it'll make it a little more popular, a little better. This is very cool too. The katana tree getting a little bit of gold nerf.
Love.
Not a lot.
Bu-
Nothing
a buff,
huge.
you mean.
Yeah. All right.
buff.
Oh yeah. Well, gold nerf.
Yeah, gold nerf,
buff.
but buff.
Yeah, it's a
It's
a
good.
buff. It's 50 gold. It ain't that big of a
Because
deal.
gods that typically build those need them. Like they're pretty mandatory. So
The Hasten Katana, if you're building Hasten Katana, it's because you need Hasten Katana because
same
the
with
stats-
gold
the
blade.
stats on it kinda
Same with
suck.
gold blade. You're
Yeah.
building gold. You were building gold blade because you had to.
Right, but I mean,
Like,
gold
if you're
blade,
playing-
the tier 3, I mean, it's still the same cost. So,
yeah, the only universal one really was serrated.
oh, I love this item. This item is
Yeah.
amazing.
It's one of the best
Serrated
items in
strong.
the game, especially for-
This is a pretty decent buff for.
Yeah,
J2M's
it's
crown.
gonna piss me off in solo.
I think it's
already
gonna be.
know
I
it
think,
is.
I think you're gonna see a lot of Ardio again. You're gonna see a lot of Guardians.
Cthulhu's, Kabrakens, Ardios.
Cerberus. Like you're gonna see.
They're
a lot.
all gonna be back in lane and make me
Yes.
angry.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Guardians in lane now, building J2M's. So get ready for that.
Oni Hunters gets a buff, but still nobody's gonna build it.
surprisingly build it, and sometimes if I'm like, I don't know, I like Oni and I've always
Yeah.
liked Oni, but it's also not a good item. I already know it.
Here's a spicy take. What's your guys' opinion on the Hebo change?
All right, moving into gods. I think it's way better than it was because that was annoying. Rooting yourself in place, that was stupid.
Keep in
But-
mind, there's already been the added change to this as well that Hebo's water spout scaling
It's
is
gotten up a little bit, yeah.
10% less. So he
Yes.
now does 10% less damage with his water
But
spout
his
as well.
Right.
Face down is gonna be so.
I think it'll be cool. I think it might make Hebo jungle a little bit more common to see. At least in casuals at first. I don't know how good it's gonna actually be, but
I think it's gonna make Hebo pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna be able to push him in the meta, although it just depends on what the mid meta becomes. Because Hebo's a really good counter into certain gods.
yeah.
Like when Rajin was big, Hebo's a perfect counter into Rajin. So we'll see what happens.
Hebo's also the one of those gods that it's just if you have a good Hebo,
Yeah.
scary person to deal with.
I think Pest, you're probably or Fox, you're probably right. Hebo's gonna be popping up in the jungle more than in the mid now. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of him in the jungle, but I also hated trying to gank someone and then I root myself in place. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try it out. I'll tell you what. I just don't know how good magical junglers are gonna be for it. Well, then again, play
Jade
Blobkiss.
Emperors.
True, Jade Emperors, and I play Blobkiss anyways, so I don't think I really care about the magical part actually. They keep doing this to Poseidon, dude. They keep let's just reduce how much mana he uses. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's still in the same spot. Anyways, we'll skip past that. This is probably making Kurbis lose his mind.
Pretty pumped. Pretty pumped.
What you're gonna say there?
You're gonna be seeing more solo lane Baron, boys. Just wait.
All right, well, you better use it next week when we play you on then.
We'll see.
All right. And then
Uh,
this is what I'm excited for. Because I love Serket. And I've heard some people say they think this is going to make her unplayable. I think I've heard.
I
it's
think
gonna make her
everybody only
amazing.
plays her in support right now, so that's.
Not
Yes,
me.
I
Not
think-
me, Kurbis. Not me, Kurbis.
But all the Circuit mains right now are support mains, so they're the ones saying that'll make her unplayable.
True. Well,
gonna say-
I love Serket, and I can't wait to pick her up.
I think no matter what you say, it is an overall nerf to the character. I don't think she's unplayable. I think she was still playable in the jungle beforehand.
She was. People are
But-
tripping.
Yeah, people are. If you say she's unplayable, I'm sorry. She's still playable. She was a decent jungler before. She just wasn't top tier. But
Look at
She's not a
this.
hyper carry. She's a setup
think-
jungle.
yeah,
Setup jungles never get the love they deserve.
I think overall she
Look at this,
is.
dude. 120% scaling and 35% mitigation. Come on, dude. Come on, Kurbis.
I was watching a video on it, and they said
This is whack. But
overall her damage was actually nerfed if you don't do like all power items,
I mean,
and that's just
So name me another jungle. Jungle shouldn't get to build hybrid and still delete people.
no, they shouldn't. It's stupid. And screw everyone who builds hybrid jungles like Gilgamesh. Screw you guys. I'm playing full damage Circuit. Fuck you. Anyways,
I'm down for that.
I hate
I'm down
hate
for
it.
that.
No, I absolutely like. It's crazy because like Mulan and Erlang Shen are like two of my favorite gods, kind of. But I also hate playing warriors in the jungle. It's so annoying. I hate it. I just let me play assassins, dude. I can't stand the hybrid crap.
it's the oh yeah. So you have to build 400 physical power to make it not a nerf.
That's fine. I'll do that. Give me Rada Tahuti, dude. Not playing.
Physical rotted.
Yeah,
Judy. All
physical
right.
Rada Tahuti, easy.
Yeah.
Who do we got next on the docket of those buffs?
Thor,
Ooh,
whatever. Okay.
nobody plays him.
Cupid, whatever. 5%.
Oh,
I mean,
played him in a
I mean-
league game.
that might make Cupid playable. He's always been a fringe god, so we'll see.
Jing Wei, increased base damage per shot. They're trying to change up these hunters a little bit, I think. They're getting tired of
Well,
reducing
it's been the same.
Izanami every time. So
But Jingwei's meta, it's so annoying.
it
Ooh,
is, but-
X-Ball. X-Ball, I know Kiki's a big fan of X-Ball Bluestone and building him ability damage, so this will be cool.
Okay. Keep that in mind. No, I'm playing.
Get the shot with the with the 2 and 3 combo.
Yep.
Emir, this is like kind of whatever. I mean, 2-second nerf on it. It's okay. Xing Chen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Duration
just-
of protection buff. Yeah, okay. The base damage
This
on
is
Cthulhu. This
scary.
is stupid. This is dumb. Why are they doing
Yeah.
this?
big.
Scary
He-
because this god's already going to be meta in solo, and now you're
Why
buffing
are they
him.
doing this? Why are they doing this?
You know,
I'm
meta,
banning
you-
Cthulhu every game. What the hell? And then I
So
know.
here's my other big daddy.
I was
Oh
gonna say,
yeah, bring me him.
I know a lot of people are excited for this buff actually. Cullen.
You know it.
Let the soul.
Let me play him again.
I'm
I'll let
so
this-
excited for him to be into the meta, man.
Jeez.
I'm
Yeah,
a big.
I don't think they buff the right things to make him meta, but I still think it's gonna make him better, of course.
Items are going to be in his favor. You just wait and see, bro. You just
Yeah,
wait and see. I won't give any
His-
deets out, but
his-
Some deets.
no deets yet.
Oh man.
Tune in next week.
All right, PTS stuff. Thank God.
Yeah.
I hate this dude. Like this. I don't think
most brain dead character.
I don't think there's ever been like a release.
You guys weren't here like when Cthulhu and Set came out because
I
Shiva
was.
was way better than either of them.
No, Guan Yu and Bologna, I was around for.
No, I was
so-
around for that dude. But
That's true.
I'm saying I think this guy like I hate him.
Yeah, I hate him.
He's so bloated, dude. It's so dumb. I hate
So
I-
bloated,
it like
and he's
frustrates me
brain dead.
because anyways, we're just gonna skip it. This god is dumb. This god is just dumb. It shouldn't even exist.
No
Shouldn't
thought process to play.
Yeah, it's like you can't miss his abilities. If you miss his abilities, I don't even know what you should do,
It's
bro.
you.
Like, okay.
Oh, is Fenrir buff? Oh, there it is. We're
yeah,
just about
they
at it.
like
Okay.
kind of reverted it a little bit. I believe they nerfed this last patch, and then it's brought back now.
Yeah.
How the plays protections on
Um,
it. Didn't they
I
do
think it's
that,
like
or-
a full-on revert, but
No, it's not a full on, but
okay. It's something. It's close though.
Weren't they taking away? Was that in the last patch, or weren't they taking away protections in his ult? Or
Oh yeah, they did that.
Yeah,
too. That's right.
they did
Yeah,
that too.
That's the other
It's
thing they
actually
did.
no, it's the timing. It's 5 seconds now, not 6 is the
Oh.
length of it.
True. Yeah, they did that too. Circuit, they buffed a little bit of her scaling.
Mhm.
Voidstone. Okay.
Yeah, items busted, so it needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
needed to-
All those
I hate
items
this
were
item.
busted, so.
I hate this item so much.
Damien got pretty
And then
fucked.
yeah, restricting the purchase the hunters now. So that's it for the
Yep.
patch notes. It's gonna be
Yes,
interesting.
sir.
Hopefully it changes up some stuff a little bit.
I think some meta changes. I don't know about mid's probably going to be the same, but the rest of the roles might get a little switched.
Good.
I hope. Thor gets meta. I know everyone hates when Thor's meta, but I just love Thor.
Yeah, well, this change ain't gonna make Thor meta, so good luck with that,
I
bud.
know,
Not
I'm
a
sad about
shot.
it.
Jeez. Alrighty. I think with that, we can move on to predictions now. Since Kurbis is the guest for this week, but we're keeping track a little bit. We're gonna have the guests have their own little record for how many they get right and wrong. Pest will have his, I'll have mine. So last week, Double A, who is our guest, was 3-2 with his guesses, and Pest was 3-2, and I was 4-1. All of us took a loss to Kurbis's team. I'll point that out. So we all picked Lords of Ulster, and Firelink Five won. Other than that, though, can move into this week for Jotunheim.
I'll take that one off. Midgard Serpents versus I Thought This Was Assault.
Midgard Serpents all the way.
Yeah,
Sorry, boys.
I'm going with a 2-0 for Midgard Serpents.
Okay. and of course, I'm picking Midgard. I mean, they're undefeated now. I guess they've dropped 2 games, but they haven't dropped a set yet. It's hard not to pick them right now.
And we 2-0'd I Thought This Was Assault in one convincing game, but the one game we probably shouldn't have won. So
Right.
I think it'll be a fight. I think it'll be an interesting game to watch, especially since now the sub has been switched out. I believe their solo.
Oh yeah, Optinerve, yes.
Optinerve is now their solo, and that guy was pretty good. So I think they're gonna win. Sorry, I thought this was Assault, but I think the Dual Lane and Cutlip are gonna be the ones to get them.
It's their dual lane. It's gonna depend on who shows up for the duo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what version of that player they're getting.
Yeah.
Because if they get a good version of Kiwi, it's a close game. If he's having a rough game, though, I mean, Zaps is a really good player, and he's just going to run away with it. So
yeah. So that'll be interesting. Next is my team Vangard versus Alien Tuna. I think that's a 2-0 for us.
Okay. I'm also picking Vangard here. What about you, Kurbis?
Vangard versus who's the other team?
Alien Tuna.
Alien Tuna? Yeah, I'm going to go with Vangard just because you guys have a solid chemistry still going, and I think Tuna's still trying to figure out exactly where they're driving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Makes sense.
So we're all on that one. And I don't know much.
Who do you not know much about? You cut out, buddy.
Yeah.
Alien Tuna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about them.
I know their captain. No, he's a pretty good guy, but I haven't seen many of their games, unfortunately. So
yeah.
Other than this last one that just got streamed just before this.
Yeah. Royals versus Housewives. Going with Royals.
Okay.
I think I'm actually really interested to see how Nexel does.
Yeah.
Because I think he can give Baza a run for his money, and I'm interested to see that happen.
Kurbis, who are you taking here, Royals or Housewives?
Royals. It's a 2-0.
Yeah.
Well,
but again, I'm watching that solo lane. But I just think
their duo and mid chemistry is really strong. So
yeah, it's gonna
they play together a lot, and like, no offense to any team in any of the divisions, but the Royals has been the biggest, quickest improvement of a team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a dedication to playing scrims and playing together, and it really does show. Like they've definitely climbed in skill.
I think they scrim 5 times a week and play a game on the 6th day, and then they have a day off.
It shows, man. It shows. Anyways,
well,
we got one more prediction.
And
I'm gonna shock the world.
No. We got to wait for J2. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna shock the world right here. Housewives taking this set.
Oh,
what? Your perfect record's already gone, so you're taking a risk for it?
No, Housewives is taking this set, bro. I'm telling you, Housewives is taking this set. They had some roster changes. They put my boy Tyne in the jungle. They moved Nighthawk to ADC, and those boys can play those roles really well. Briar Hayes is in the mid lane. That's his main role now. Gramic's always been a beast. Nexail's improving. I think Housewives gonna shock the world. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey man, I love that shock. Take the Titans down. I want to root for all these teams against Royals because Royals are a strong team. So I want the underdogs to win, but like they're proving themselves, man. So I'm all for it, but my money's still gonna sit on Royals.
That's fair, man. All right.
And then Helix has a bye.
Oh yes, they do.
Just
Which I believe that means that ends their season. Because they are
Week
sitting
7, that's the last week of Jotunheim. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're sitting in last place right now in Jotunheim. There are 7 teams. Only 6 make the playoffs, and with a bye week, there's no chance for them to catch up. So I think that ends it for them.
Do they have the same amount of wins as somebody else?
No, because they lost to. I thought this was Assault and Alien Tuna, I believe. So
I thought they beat Alien Tuna.
Did they?
Because they forfeited. Yeah, Alien.
Well,
Oh.
you know what makes it even easier then? Let's just go look at the old stat sheet, boys.
Oh, that's a good idea, Kurbis. Look at you. That's why you're here. You're the brain of the operation.
The operation right now.
Old stat sheet. Because that'll tell us exactly
since
what the
Kirby-
record is.
Made it up for everybody. Where do you go here?
And Flamio's been doing a fantastic job of keeping up as well as Elite, so
Let's
give it out some love to everybody.
Yeah, I offered to help, but they told me no, so I'm kidding. Not really.
He's not kidding about offering.
I did offer, but they told me no, kinda. They're like, oh, well, we got enough people. I was like, oh, okay. But where's the link at, Kurbis? Like,
It's in important links, bro.
there's so many server info important. There it is.
It's,
Rules?
Helix Fallen is 0-4.
Okay.
No,
Wait,
it's not a rule.
So that doesn't include the last week, so right? Is that who we're looking at, Fallen?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
here,
small.
go to the Jotunheim results. Because I believe that's where I found out.
Yeah,
Jotunheim.
it's in season 2 important info, Kurbis. You got it wrong.
I mean, it's important links.
Yeah,
It's in there.
so
Helix
Helix Fallen
Fallen-
1-8 total, sitting in last place. I thought this was Assault at 3-7 is right above them, and Alien Tuna 2-5 in 5th. So it doesn't look like, because even if Alien Tuna gets 2-0'd this week,
Yeah, Alien Tuna's won too much already.
they would be 2-7, which would put them 1 game ahead of Helix Fallen and would keep them in 6th place.
And Housewives beat Fallen, so that was the other.
Yes.
That was pretty much the determining match, I think.
Yes.
Alien Tuna forfeited to Helix Fallen, though. Yes, that did happen.
There you go.
Okay. Makes sense. Alrighty. So I think we can move into Midgard now.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. So this week, Band of Brothers has a bye week, which I think that's like their 3rd week off in a row.
Yeah, poor guys have just gotten like.
It's just like,
I think they were meant to play Silver Hillbillies.
yeah, it's just
And
been
they
rough.
just.
It's been rough in Midgard, man. We've had like so many teams drop.
Double A just was doing the numbers. We've had 8 teams drop this season, so
Yeah.
it's rough. A lot of newer teams. So that's to be expected. They're not sure of the commitment, and just a lot of teams kind of not jiving as well as they thought. And I do know that the sub ruling with the transactions was a bit of an issue for some of the teams to get enough players to sub in. So they did just end up dropping most of them. Most of them ultimately came down to was either a self implosion by players not liking each other, or just couldn't commit to the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we have Elysian. They get their forfeit win versus Silver Hillbilly Gankers this week. So it's good for them.
I think we have,
over the
I think we have
standings a
2
little bit.
games only this week, eh?
Yeah, we do. It's been like that the last couple weeks now. So
It'll be the last one of this. Oh, actually, probably not. That's not true. Hillbilly. It was going to be the last week of this, and then yeah, Silver
I'm just
Hillbilly's
glad
dropping.
I'm just glad it's my team that finally gets to play this week. We've been off for forever.
You and Lords are just catching up now.
We're like, what the heck, dude? It was terrible sitting out just watching everyone else play. So now this week got Lords of Ulster versus Volnus Mortale, which is my team. And I'll make my prediction first just because it's my team. I'm giving it to myself, so you guys can go ahead.
Shocker. I'm going with Volnus as well.
This is tough. Like, I want Lords to beat you guys.
All right, you could
because
pick
then
'em. You could pick 'em,
I
bro.
know. But then I know that you know what? I'm gonna go Lords of Ulster. I'm going Lords because I want them to win.
You think it's gonna be a 2-0
And,
or a 2-1, buddy?
I think it's going to 3 regardless. So.
Oh, regardless, even if we win the set, it's going to 3.
Yeah, regardless, it's going to 3. I think it's
Okay.
Lords are a strong team, and if they can, I'm sure they've been working on some of the team fight issues. So I think they come in strong because they don't want to have a rematch from last week.
So if we 2-0 though, then.
Well, then I'm sweating in my boots.
Well, we'll see you next week, so it'll be okay.
I know. Well, and then I got my grudge match coming up. Firelink 5 versus Lambies. We get to play our boy Zealous, who was our jungle from season 1.
Oh,
Left us for his
I didn't know
main
that.
team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So Zealous was our jungle. He left us to pursue his dream team, which is Lambies now. So little bit of payback, a little bit of a grudge match, some friendly play. So it should be a really good match, I think.
So who you're taking though?
Oh, I have to say Firelink.
Well, I know. I just
so.
had to make
I'm
you
sorry.
say it. I had to make you say it.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have your full squad available to your knowledge?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, it should be a full squad. We're all healthy this week.
All healthy.
Hopefully staying.
No torn ACLs, no torn ligaments in the thumb or nothing. Yeah.
Well, Rubberman was like puking that night, so he
Oh.
wasn't playing.
Yeah,
Makes sense. And then Pest, who you taking here? Firelink 5 or Land-based girls?
Land-based 2-1.
Interesting.
He's giving us 3. Okay. So wait, what did you guess, J2?
I haven't predicted yet. And this one I'm a little split on this one.
Are you gonna guess wrong again, like you did in last week's?
Hey, Kurbis, I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna guess wrong next week for your game.
Already's coming in.
I don't know, man. Firelink impressed me with the win over Lords of Ulster, but that game too, like, I don't know how much credit I really give them, or if it was really like just Ulster giving them the game. So, I mean, it's true, dude. Like, let's be fair. Like, they should have won that.
That was their game to lose.
Like, literally, Kurbis even said
we'll put
himself.
it that
That's
way.
not BM. It's just what happened. I mean, and
It is.
yeah.
Everybody who watched the game knows it should have went to 3.
Yep.
You know what, Kurbis? I know you're the guest, but I'm gonna stick with Pest on this one. I'm gonna go land-based girls, but
Cool, man. I'm all right with proving you wrong 2 weeks in a row.
all right. Well, I hope you do. I hope you do, because it's gonna be fun to watch. I haven't seen too much of land-based. We scrimmed them like a long time ago. So
You're gonna see some spicy picks
all right.
from both teams. I can
that
guarantee
Baron
that.
solo with the new skin. So
Yeah.
Guarantee you that Lambies and us will bring something fancy.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Outpost.
You heard it here.
Love
You
to
heard
hear
it here.
all right. I think we can move into the Bifrost tournament now. We got double jungle versus Helix Prime.
I'll go with double jungle. I'm riding with double jungle this entire tournament.
All right.
Yeah, this is a double jungle. I mean, Helix Prime's a Anaheim team. And if they overthrow this, I will be losing my mind. So I think it's double jungle.
All right. I'm also taking double jungle. I mean, I haven't heard anything bad about them. I've heard they've been the best team so far. Obviously, before Profits joined, I got to throw that in there. But,
So
Yeah.
the next game is pretty obvious with you.
oh yeah, Profits tactically inting. I got to go Profits. I mean, I have to. First of all, Profits is gonna be an Asgard team. Technically inting's a Vanaheim team. Although I've heard people have been kind of complaining that they should be an Asgard anyways. But
They're a good team. They're a good team.
I
They really are.
I'm giving
I mean,
it to
they're
Profits.
they're a mixed match of like server OGs for the most part.
Yeah.
People have been around for a while.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
Oh man. You know what? Go ahead, Pest. You put your vote in first.
Going with Profits. I trust J2's knowledge with that team, and I just
Team's
think they're
amazing.
going to be in the finals and lose to double jungle. Eh?
All right, Pest. All
Kier is going to roast the shit out of me. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go tactical inting. I'm putting my money in Recurry's support over Kier's ADC. We'll see how it goes.
Wait, you're
Just
curious? I thought
Curry
you're.
plays support for
support for
the
them.
tactical
got-
linting,
they
and that is
got-
his main role.
Yeah,
Oh,
They got Omni, they got Recurry, they got Ying,
they got
uh,
TJK.
and ABC
Yes.
for solo.
Yes.
So I put their money in that duo lane. I think it is going to be like here's a monster, but if you can keep him kind of contained, then I think they stand a very good chance.
You could try to contain Cure, but then you got Zax and you got Potato, you got Sniken in the jungle with the Athena. Oh my gosh, dude! And then their support too, he's pretty decent. So
I mean, Ying talks a really big game, but he backs it up every now and again. So I'm hoping he backs it up and wins this one. For me.
all right. Next up, we got Gumbo's team versus Helix Paladins. Kurbis, you want to start maybe? Oh wait, I skipped one, huh? Go ahead.
Wait.
Nah, keep
Yeah,
going.
you got another one too, but I'm gonna probably go Gumbos. Gumbos is probably a really strong team. They've been pretty strong. They play together. Paladins has had off and on roster changes. They got Cryo. I think that they might not be quite ready, but they might also surprise me. But I'm gonna probably go Gumbos, and I think it'll be a 2-1 though.
Okay, Pest you.
I'll go with Paladins just to shake it up. Maybe they're one of the teams that are in that middle area that you think can pull off some upsets. So.
All right, makes sense. I'm going Gumbo's team here, sticking with King Kirby. Looks like we're all. So after I picked Housewives, all you guys want to pick some outliers here with Kurbis going Lords Ulster and Pest going Paladins. All right, see we're all getting kind of risky with these picks. All right.
Yeah, this last matchup, I think it'll be against the bottom two of each. I think it's Destiny versus I Love Dragons.
It is, yeah. I believe Dragons are they an Asgard team though? But
no, Vanaheim.
They are Vanaheim. Okay.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
They are Vanaheim. So is Destiny, I believe. Yeah.
I know like nothing about these two teams. I'm about to pull up their standings just so I can cheat a little bit real quick.
Cheated touch. Yeah, I think it goes to Dragons.
I think it goes to Dragons.
Dragons like to play some weird, janky stuff sometimes. And if it works, I think they win. So I'll go with Dragons.
All right. Pest, go ahead.
I think I'm going to go Dragons 2-1.
Interesting. If I pull up the Vangard Bifrost stats. Oh, Dragons is 0-0. This is not updated, Kurbis.
No,
Sorry.
Dragons had a bye week. There's 9 teams.
Oh,
J2.
yeah. Okay, so this. So I can't cheat because it doesn't show
No,
standings from before.
You just see Destiny losing, but Destiny did have.
They did take one from Helix Prime.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't know how they were doing in Vanaheim before this whole thing started. All right, I'm gonna go Dragons then, just to stick with you guys. So if y'all win, you don't get ahead of me.
No, that's fair.
That's the only reason I'm doing it because I have no idea. I know the guys from Destiny. I know they were kind of at the bottom part of Anaheim. I kind of felt like they were more of a Midgard team. They would have been probably one of the best Midgard teams in there. But I don't know, they're on like that border, so I'll go Dragons here. And then we got VTubers Paradise, the team with the bye this week. I think how did they do last week? They lost last week. So, yeah, I think that's about. We got questions, Pest? Did you say there was questions?
My God. One good one. We didn't elaborate too hard on the guess part. I guess we just went over it kind of casually. And the reason we have Kurbis here is because his team had that insane comeback. And Kurbis is one of the well-known members of the community, so we're like matching 2 and 2 together. So we chose him. Usually it's going to be somebody that either has a big game or if we're trying to fill in a spot and we know there's a big upcoming game. So say if Kurbis didn't come on, I was thinking for not Kurbis this week, I'm talking about last week. I was thinking Awen because he was going up against the Royals and to talk about that. And then he was also going up against us. So that was the talk 3 teams just
Yeah.
all in one giant shovel pile, but because we needed that was the first episode and Double A is the owner of the league, we thought that would be the perfect time to bring him on. But yeah, just generally big games that have happened or coming up.
Yeah.
Is how we're going to decide on it. And big games from people, like even if it's not that big of a game in retrospect, but if there's like a massive game, like this person pops off,
Right.
that might be a reason to have somebody. Very loose terms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be a guest too, you can always just shoot one of us a message and probably find a way to get you on here. Don't want to have too many per episode. Probably just stick with one. So
Mm-hmm.
see how that goes. There's season's kind of coming to a close here shortly, so still got like.
Yeah.
I guess Jotunheim's finishing up soon, right, Kurbis, and then.
Yep, and then they go into some playoffs. Their
Yeah.
playoffs will be probably a week or two after.
Yeah.
Give some teams some time.
Yeah. But other than that, try to get as many people in here as we can. Kurbis, any final words as our special guest?
Yeah, just one from the admin side of things, just in case anybody missed it or doesn't pay attention to the announcements. We've had a slight rule change just regarding rosters, transactions specifically. So when you're transacting a new player, it's within 24 hours of approval that player is able to play. No longer has to be transacted the Sunday before. Big reason that rule was in place was we were trying to allow teams the ability to do research on players they were playing against. But ultimately, it felt like it was more of a pain for teams who were losing players. And because of Smite players being a little finicky at times, they often would drop midweek. So it would really punish a team if they weren't prepared for it and if they had to find a last-minute player. So we decided to change it based on feedback from the community. So that's a change. Some announcements just regarding like roles. There'll be some new roles. We talked about the ban content a little bit already this season. So just some updates. That's about it.
All right. And then with that being said, if you guys have any like cool clips you want put at the end of the video or in between the podcast here in the next episode, go ahead and just send them right over to me or Pestnews on Discord. There's also a chat now in the Discord server. I believe it's titled just Animosity Frontliners or something along those lines.
We didn't receive any. That's why there won't be. Unless, did you receive any direct ones?
I did not for this week. I might have something funny that I could put in for my own, but I actually do have one, but it's gonna go in the middle. So, but same thing. Any questions? Submit them at the same spots.
Flip your games, guys. I enjoy the clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe make a little montage too. If we get enough
Please.
at the end of the
Please.
season.
I think Sargent was working on a self montage, which I'm waiting to hear when that comes out.
He's gonna have one of me when we ran into him casual first blooded.
Let's go, Sargent.
All right. With that being said, I think we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Have a good week.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep, of course.